World War I, known as the Great War, encompassed a vast array of pivotal moments, both tragic and transformative. As we embark on a visual journey through rare historical photographs from this time, it is not merely the images that captivate us, but the stories they convey. These 25 photos, each telling its unique tale, shed light on the significant events and conditions of a world once shaken by the conflict. Number 1. The assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand. June 28, 1914, in Sarajevo, Bosnia, marked a critical turning point in world history. The photo captures the moments preceding the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria and his wife, Duchess Sophie. The couple, seated in an open car, appear regal and poised, with the city's picturesque architecture providing a stark contrast to the impending tragedy. Gavrilo Princip, a young Bosnian Serb nationalist, would soon fire the shots that not only claimed their lives but also set the world on a path to war. The gravity of this event is evident in the expressions of the bystanders, their faces reflecting a mixture of excitement, curiosity, and, soon after, horror. This singular event, stemming from complex political entanglements and nationalist sentiments in the Balkans, became the catalyst for the Great War. The photograph, capturing a fleeting moment of peace before a storm, underscores the unpredictability of historical events and the profound impact of individual actions on the course of history. Number 2. Trenches on the Western Front. The very essence of World War I's Western Front is epitomized in the haunting images of the trenches. In this photograph, the viewer is confronted with the bleakness of muddy trenches, stretching endlessly into the horizon, interwoven like a maze beneath a gray, cloud-filled sky. Soldiers, unrecognizable under layers of mud, appear more as shadows than men, their eyes revealing a blend of determination and weariness. The conditions were harrowing. Constant artillery fire, the threat of gas attacks, and the omnipresent mud that clung to everything and everyone. This unrelenting environment, marked by close-quarter combat and the constant threat of sniper fire, forged bonds of brotherhood among soldiers. Every aspect of this photo, from the rain-filled craters to the makeshift wooden walkways, serves as a testament to the resilience and endurance of the human spirit in the face of overwhelming adversity. The Western Front's trenches became synonymous with the war's stagnation and the immense human cost of modern warfare. Number 3. First use of tanks at the Battle of the Somme. The Battle of the Somme, unfolding between July and November 1916, remains one of the most vividly remembered confrontations of World War I. Amidst the muddy, crater-ridden landscapes and entrenched lines, a distinctive silhouette emerged: the tank. This photograph captures the Mark I tank, a lumbering metal beast, making its way across no man's land. At first glance, its presence seems almost anachronistic against the backdrop of the trench-laden battleground. British military command had introduced these armored vehicles as a solution to the war's entrenched stalemate. With caterpillar tracks that allowed for navigation across rough terrains and armored plating that could withstand machine gun fire, they were designed to break through enemy lines. In the photograph, soldiers watch in awe, and perhaps a mix of curiosity and disbelief as this new instrument of war lumbers forward. Yet, while tanks would evolve to become essential military assets in subsequent conflicts, their initial deployment at the Somme was plagued with mechanical issues and tactical naivete. This image encapsulates a pivotal moment when traditional warfare began its transition into the mechanized combat of the 20th century, a transformation encapsulated by the stark contrast between man and machine. Number 4. Soldiers in gas masks. The chilling image of soldiers in gas masks, their humanity obscured by rubber and glass, stands as one of the most haunting symbols of World War I. This photograph captures a line of soldiers, their faces hidden, eyes peering out from the cold, insect-like masks. Chemical warfare, introduced on a significant scale in this war, brought with it the terrifying prospect of choking, blinding, or burning from gases like chlorine or mustard gas. In response, both sides rapidly developed protective masks. The photograph, with its eerie, almost otherworldly aura, is a visceral testament to the lengths soldiers had to go to survive in this new age of warfare. The gas mask, while providing a lifeline against the deadly gases, was uncomfortable, often causing difficulty in breathing and severely limiting vision. This image, in its bleakness, reflects not only the physical toll of the war, but also its psychological impact. The anonymity of the masked faces conveys a profound sense of dehumanization, a poignant reminder of the depths to which the horrors of war can plunge even the most resilient souls. Number 5. Medical aid on the front lines. In the midst of the chaos and carnage of World War I's battlefields, there existed moments of respite and humanity. One photograph captures this juxtaposition poignantly: a makeshift frontline medical station. Amidst the dirt and grime, medical personnel hurriedly attend to wounded soldiers, their faces marked with a combination of fatigue and determination. Stretchers line the ground, each bearing a soldier, some visibly in pain, while others appear eerily serene, lost in their thoughts or succumbing to exhaustion. The image speaks volumes about the immediacy of frontline medical aid, where the golden hour, that critical window for medical intervention, could mean the difference between life and death. These stations were often rudimentary, set up in dugouts or ruined buildings, and lacked the comprehensive facilities of larger hospitals further from the front. Yet the dedication of the medical staff, working tirelessly under relentless pressure, saved countless lives. The photograph, in its raw intensity, serves as a testament to the bravery not just of those who fought, but also of those who healed. Number 6. Women at war, nurses, and female workers. The narrative of World War I is not solely a tale of men in trenches. It is equally about the contributions and sacrifices of women. A captivating photograph showcases a group of women dressed in uniforms, their faces a portrait of resilience and tenacity. Some are nurses, identified by their white aprons and headgear, while others are munitions workers, their attire hinting at the grimy factories where they toiled. The Great War spurred a transformation in societal roles. As men left for the front lines, women stepped into roles traditionally reserved for their male counterparts. They served as nurses, tending to the wounded and dying, often in harrowing conditions. They worked in factories, producing the weapons and ammunition essential for the war effort. Their contributions were immeasurable, both in maintaining the home front and in directly supporting the war. This photograph, in its simple yet profound composition, encapsulates the changing dynamics of the early 20th century, portraying women not as passive observers, but as active participants in the theater of war. Number 7. The Battle of Jutland, Naval Combat. The Battle of Jutland, the only major naval confrontation of World War I, unfolds in a photo showing colossal battleships enveloped in smoke, their guns ablaze. Fought between the British Royal Navy's Grand Fleet and the German High Seas Fleet in 1916. This battle was a testament to naval might in the age of dreadnoughts. The photograph reveals the scale of these steel leviathans, their vast silhouettes contrasting sharply against the vast expanse of the sea. While the battle did not deliver a decisive victory for either side, it showcased the massive firepower and strategic complexity of naval warfare. The image evokes both awe and a palpable tension, encapsulating the immense stakes of maritime dominance during the war. Number 8. Warplanes, the dawn of aerial combat. A lone biplane soars over the Western Front, its delicate frame contrasting the ruthless ground war below. This photograph marks the emergence of aerial combat. As the war progressed, planes transitioned from reconnaissance roles to fighters and bombers, engaging in dogfights and raiding enemy positions. The image captures the freedom and peril of the skies, symbolizing a new frontier in warfare. It's a poignant reminder that technological advancements, while breathtaking, often come intertwined with the complexities of conflict. Number 9. The Christmas Truce of 1914. An image both heartwarming and surreal. Soldiers from opposing sides, normally engaged in brutal combat, are seen sharing greetings, songs, and even a game of football. This was the Christmas Truce of 1914, a brief and spontaneous cessation of hostilities along parts of the Western Front. The photograph captures the essence of shared humanity, a stark contrast to the surrounding desolation. For a fleeting moment, the spirit of Christmas overshadowed the grim realities of war, offering a glimmer of hope amidst darkness. Number 10. Zeppelin raids over Britain. In the stillness of the night, the silhouette of a massive Zeppelin looms over the dimly lit cityscape of Britain. The photograph captures the eerie tranquility of these airships, which belies the terror they instilled as instruments of war. These German dirigibles, with their vast size and ability to carry significant bomb loads, brought the war to the British home front. Civilians huddled in their homes, with blackout curtains drawn, as the ominous hum of the Zeppelins drew near. The airships, often attacking under the cover of darkness, became a symbol of the war's evolution, with conflicts no longer confined to distant battlefields. The raids, although not strategically decisive, had a profound psychological impact, making warfare a personal experience for countless individuals far from the front lines. The photograph, with its contrasting elements of serenity and impending doom, serves as a stark reminder of the multifaceted nature of the war, where advancements in technology expanded the boundaries of conflict. Number 11. The destruction of Louvain, Belgium. The photograph depicts a once thriving Belgian city of Louvain, now reduced to ruins. Smoke rises from the smoldering remnants of Gothic architecture, libraries, and homes. In August 1914, German forces, in response to perceived resistance from the city's inhabitants, razed large parts of Louvain. The university library, a treasure trove of medieval manuscripts and invaluable texts, was deliberately set ablaze, resulting in the loss of countless irreplaceable works. This act was widely condemned globally, and the destruction of Louvain became emblematic of the broader cultural losses suffered during the war. The photo captures not just the physical devastation, but also the cultural and emotional wounds inflicted upon Europe's heart. The ruins serve as a mute testament to the profound impact of war, not only on soldiers and civilians, but also on the very fabric of civilization. Number 12. Soldiers interacting with locals. Amidst the backdrop of war-torn Europe, a photograph captures a tender moment, soldiers sharing a light-hearted exchange with local children. The setting might be a village square or perhaps the outskirts of a larger town. Regardless, the image presents a stark contrast to the usual scenes of conflict. Soldiers, with their gear set aside momentarily, are seen laughing, sharing rations, or even engaging in a game. The local children, perhaps initially wary, seem to embrace this brief respite from the surrounding chaos, their faces lit with genuine smiles. Such interactions were not uncommon, as soldiers often found themselves stationed or passing through areas inhabited by civilians. The photograph, in its simplicity, reminds us of the profound human connections that can emerge even in the most adverse circumstances. Despite the barriers of language, culture, and the overshadowing war, the shared moments of camaraderie and understanding bridge the divide. Number 13. Captured German equipment displayed in Paris. The streets of Paris, always alive with activity, bore witness to a unique spectacle during the war years. A photograph captures rows of captured German artillery, machine guns, and other equipment displayed prominently for the public to view. Such exhibitions were more than mere showcases. They were powerful propaganda tools. For the Parisians, who had endured the threat of German invasion and the prolonged hardships of war, these displays symbolized resilience and hoped for eventual victory. Civilians, including children, are seen in the photograph, inspecting the equipment with a mix of curiosity and pride. The gleaming Eiffel Tower in the background, juxtaposed with the captured weaponry, serves as a potent symbol of French endurance and defiance. The image encapsulates the spirit of Paris during the war, a city unbowed, drawing strength from both its rich history and the promise of a brighter future. Number 14. The Gallipoli Campaign. The rugged coastline of Gallipoli, with its cliffs and narrow beaches, is captured in a photograph that tells of a campaign marked by ambition, heroism, and tragedy. Allied forces, predominantly from Australia and New Zealand, embarked on a mission in 1915 to seize the Dardanelles Strait, aiming to knock the Ottoman Empire out of the war. The terrain, however, proved a formidable adversary. In the photograph, soldiers can be seen clambering up steep inclines, their forms stark against the bright Mediterranean sun. The campaign, which lasted months, saw intense combat and immense casualties on both sides. The image portrays the sheer physical challenges faced by the troops, where nature itself was an enemy as formidable as the defending Ottomans. Today, The Gallipoli campaign holds significant historical and emotional resonance, especially for Australians and New Zealanders, symbolizing sacrifice and camaraderie. Number 15. Indian troops in Europe. Amidst the mud and trenches of the Western Front, a photograph stands out for its unlikely assembly of soldiers. Indian troops, identifiable by their distinct turbans and uniforms, standing ready for battle. As part of the British Empire, India contributed a vast number of troops to the Allied war effort. The image captures these soldiers, far from their homeland, braving the European winters and the horrors of trench warfare. Their presence is a poignant reminder of the truly global nature of World War I, where men from continents apart found themselves united in a common, if harrowing, experience. The photograph speaks volumes about colonial ties, global politics, and the diverse tapestry of soldiers who fought in the Great War. Number 16. Arrival of the American Expeditionary Force. The docks bustle with activity in a photograph capturing the momentous arrival of the American Expeditionary Force, AEF, in Europe. Soldiers clad in crisp uniforms disembark from massive transport ships, their faces a mix of determination and anticipation. The entry of the United States into World War I in 1917 marked a significant turning point. Under the command of General John J. Pershing, the AEF bolstered the weary Allied troops and brought with them fresh resources and energy. The photograph encapsulates this pivotal moment, with American troops setting foot on European soil, ready to engage in a conflict that had been raging for years. The imagery stands as a testament to the broader geopolitical shifts of the era, where the New World came to the aid of the Old. Number 17. Royal family connections, Tsar Nicholas II and King George V. In a photograph steeped in regal grandeur, two monarchs stand side by side, Tsar Nicholas II of Russia and King George V of Britain. Their remarkable resemblance, both in facial features and military attire, underscores a familial bond. They were first cousins. As Europe plunged into war, these familial connections among European royalty added layers of complexity to the political landscape. The image, taken during a pre-war meeting, becomes haunting in retrospect, given the eventual fate of Nicholas and his family during the Russian Revolution. It's a poignant reminder of the fragile intersection of personal relationships and global politics during a tumultuous period. Number 18. Anzac troops in the Middle East. Desert landscapes stretch out, providing a stark contrast to the typical muddy terrains of World War I in a photograph featuring Anzac troops in the Middle East. The Australian and New Zealand Army Corps, after their trials in Gallipoli, found themselves deployed in campaigns against the Ottoman Empire across Palestine and Mesopotamia. The image shows these soldiers on camels, adapting to the demands of desert warfare, their faces shaded by slouch hats. The photograph highlights the vast scope of World War I, where battles raged not just in European trenches, but across diverse terrains and continents. It's a tribute to the adaptability and resilience of the Anzac forces, who faced challenges far from home. Number 19. Cavalry on the move, the role of horses. A vast expanse of open terrain is punctuated by the rhythmic galloping of cavalry, their silhouettes against the horizon creating an almost poetic imagery of motion and purpose. This photograph underscores the crucial role horses played in World War I. Contrary to the static image of trench warfare, there were many instances where rapid movement was essential, and cavalry units were often at the forefront of such maneuvers. Horses also served in logistics, transporting artillery, supplies, and even wounded soldiers across rough terrains. The image evokes a sense of nostalgia for an era where the bond between man and horse was paramount in warfare, a bond soon to be overshadowed by mechanization. While the machine gun and barbed wire often halted cavalry charges in their tracks, the photograph serves as a poignant reminder of the valor and significance of these noble beasts, who bore the weight of war alongside their human counterparts. Number 20. Italian Front, the Battle of Caporetto. Nestled amidst the jagged peaks of the Alps, the Italian Front presents a theater of war unlike any other. The photograph focuses on the aftermath of the Battle of Caporetto, one of the most significant engagements on this front. German and Austro-Hungarian forces launched a surprise offensive in October 1917, catching the Italians off guard. The resulting retreat and chaos are evident in the image: scattered equipment, disarrayed troops, and the grim backdrop of the unforgiving mountainous terrain. The battle marked a devastating loss for Italy, with over 10,000 killed, 30,000 wounded, and 265,000 taken prisoner. The photograph encapsulates the gravity of the situation, underscoring the brutal challenges of mountain warfare and the significant repercussions of a single battle in the broader context of the war. Number 21. The Harlem Hellfighters, African-American troops in WW1. A line of sharply uniformed soldiers stands at attention, but what sets this photograph apart is the undeniable presence of African-American faces, staring resolutely ahead. These are members of the 369th Infantry Regiment, more famously known as the Harlem Hellfighters. Despite the pervasive racial discrimination of their time, these soldiers emerged as one of the most formidable combat units, serving with distinction on the Western Front. Their German adversaries named them Hellfighters because of their tenacity and bravery in battle. However, back home, their heroics were often overshadowed by the color of their skin. This photograph, with its juxtaposition of military valor and the silent testimony of racial inequalities, becomes a significant emblem of African-American contributions to World War I. The Harlem Hellfighters' legacy extends beyond their battlefield achievements, as they played a pivotal role in challenging preconceived racial notions and paving the way for future generations. Number 22. German U-boats, the underwater threat. Emerging like a phantom from the depths, the sleek form of a German U-boat is captured mid-surface in this arresting photograph. The underwater vessels, with their stealth and mobility, revolutionized naval warfare during World War I. Their primary tactic, unrestricted submarine warfare, targeted Allied and neutral shipping alike, creating a reign of terror across the seas. The image, with its depiction of the U-boat's menacing form, captures the essence of this new, covert form of warfare. Ships, no matter how grand, were vulnerable to these underwater predators. The photograph serves as a testament to German naval innovation and the ever-evolving nature of warfare, where old strategies were rendered obsolete and adaptability became the key to survival. Number 23. Behind the lines, life in rear areas. Far from the booming cannons and the treacherous trenches, another vital aspect of wartime is captured in a photograph: life in the rear areas. At first glance, the image might be mistaken for a peaceful town scene. Soldiers, freed momentarily from the immediacy of combat, are seen engaging in various activities. Some write letters, while others attend to equipment or partake in games. Local civilians interact with them, perhaps trading goods or sharing news. These rear areas, while comparatively safer, played a pivotal role. They were hubs of logistics, medical care, and brief respite. They were the liminal spaces where soldiers transitioned between the horrors of the front and the memories of home. The photograph serves as a gentle reminder that war isn't just about combat, it's also about the moments of humanity, camaraderie, and routine that persist even amidst chaos. Number 24. Soldiers and Shell Shock, Early Understanding of PTSD. A group of soldiers, their gazes distant and postures rigid, are the focal point of a photograph that speaks volumes about an often overlooked consequence of war: psychological trauma. These men, diagnosed with shell shock, present a stark contrast to the typical images of wartime valor and resilience. Their vacant stares, resulting from the relentless stresses of trench warfare, bombardments, and the unending cacophony of battle, are haunting. This photograph brings to light the early attempts to understand and address what we now recognize as PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. It underscores the profound psychological toll of war, challenging contemporary perceptions and urging a broader, more compassionate understanding of the sacrifices made by soldiers. Number 25. The signing of the Treaty of Versailles. The ornate Hall of Mirrors in the Palace of Versailles serves as the backdrop for an event that would shape the course of the 20th century. Diplomats and officials, representing the victorious Allied powers, gather around a table, their faces a blend of relief, exhaustion, and resolve. At the center is the Treaty of Versailles, the peace agreement that would officially end World War I. The photograph captures this significant moment on June 28, 1919, exactly 5 years after the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand, the event that precipitated the Great War. The image is layered with symbolism. The grandeur of the hall contrasts with the weight of the document, which imposed severe reparations and territorial losses on Germany. Many historians argue that the terms of the treaty directly sowed the seeds for World War II. This photograph, thus, is not just a record of the end of one conflict, but a somber reminder of the complexities of peace and the cyclical nature of history.